The Bible says in the book of Acts chapter 6, verse number 1, "And in those days, when the number of the disciples was multiplied, there arose a murmuring of the Grecians against the Hebrews, because their widows were neglected in the daily ministration." The church in Jerusalem was a growing and thriving church. Thousands are being saved. 3,000 were saved in one shot on the day of Pentecost in Acts chapter 2. By the time you get to Acts chapter 4, that congregation had grown to over 5,000. We come to chapter 6 in our verse for this devotion, and we find the congregation continuing to multiply. But one thing that I have realized reading about this growing and multiplying church of Jerusalem, that whenever a church grows and thrives like this, there's a price to pay. And the price to pay is, notice, as this church is growing, the needs grew with it. There was a great need that had arisen because they came to realize that there were widows being neglected in this very large church. And so the only point I'm just trying to make here is, the more the church grows, the more problems and needs will also grow. That's the price you pay for growth. But here's the thing that I want to say by way of encouraging you. Listen, but these are the good kind of problems to have. Because there are other kind of problems that we could have, because there are certain kinds of problems that folks will face in a church that is declining. But if you're a part of a growing and thriving church, may I encourage you, when the problems and the challenging needs arise, do not be alarmed. This is the price to pay for growth and for a church to thrive. The more the church grows, the more people are going to be there. And the more people show up, the more the needs are going to grow. And the more the problems and the more the murmuring and the complaining will be there. But don't let that alarm you, because guess what? These are the good kind of problems to have. And don't you worry. If a church is growing the way that it's supposed to, because in the church of Jerusalem, it was the Lord giving the increase. So don't you worry about these problems. Address those problems. Find ways to deal with those problems, just like they did in the rest of the story here in Acts chapter 6. But don't let those problems and needs alarm you. It comes with the territory. And at the end of the day, God is still in control. He will guide us. He will help us to find solutions to address the needs that comes with growth. God bless you.